Well, it's Tech for Hire. I believe he's going to bore us again with his bullshit.
Hey YouTube, Tech for Hire here. Just getting ready for another day. And you ever have one of those days where you check your alarm? You know, you wake up earlier than what your alarm was supposed to go off. So you check it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have so much time before I have to go to work. And then you accidentally turn off your alarm. That's exactly what I just did. So I had to call into work and tell them I was gonna be late. God, I hate doing that. But you know, luckily my boss is pretty cool, so you know, I'm not one of those guys where if I'm a half an hour late and I leave right at 5 o'clock, like I'm supposed to come in at 8 and I leave at 5. Well, if I'm like a few minutes late, I stay a few minutes late, you know. So if I come in at 8:05, I stay till 5:05. Now I have some coworkers that they don't do that. They come in at 8:15 and they leave right at 5 o'clock, and it's rather annoying, you know. I mean, I always feel guilty about like coming in late, but at the same time I still put in my time, so you know, that's not really a big deal. And two, it's like I also put in the amount of work, you know. I can at least say it's like, okay, well, you know, is my work suffering from me being late? And you look at the output that I do, and I actually do quite a bit of stuff compared to everybody else. And you know, in my field, I do IT work, so it's pretty, you know, you just do calls. The only problem is I'm the only guy that supports one application, so when that application goes down, everybody's looking for me. So that does create an issue. So as long as nobody has a screw up between, you know, 8 o'clock and the time that I get in, should be good. Should be all good. I'm wearing my Foxton boots again, and holy shit, they're uncomfortable. I know part of it, balls. I know part of it is the fact that they're not broken in yet, and you know, a good leather boot takes a while to break in. And to be quite honest, I've never really had. Well, I shouldn't say that. You know, I was gonna say I've never really had a good leather boot, so I'm not sure how long it'll take to break in. But you know, I have a pair of Doc Marten boots that I've had for, oh crap, since I was in junior high, and you know, they still fit, and they're actually still not even broken in, because I don't wear them that often. You know, they actually still kind of look new, and you know, I don't know what to do to break these shoes in more, but you know, I think it's just a matter of wearing them constantly. And you know, what I tend to do with the Doc Martens is I wouldn't wear them for a full day. I'd wear them, you know, for a little bit, and then I'd take them off and I'd put tennis shoes on. So oh gosh, I'm not used to riding this bike. So weird now. But yeah, on these boots, I definitely know that my foot type is not the foot type to go into these boots. So I have to come up with some ideas to make these boots a little bit more comfortable. Because no matter how much I cinch the laces, it's never going to be tight enough to wrap around my foot. Like these feel loose. They don't feel loose to the point where, like, if I got into an accident, my shoes would fly off. I'm not saying that, because like if I loosen up the Velcro strap and try to pull these things off, they're not coming off. So not in that sense, but I do like a a shoe that fits more like a glove, you know, snugly around my foot, and I know it's there. These boots are more of like, you know, they fit like a slip-on almost, you know, and then I can't tighten them up enough to where they feel like they're snug on my foot. But what's weird about that is on the top of my foot, you know, like the very first eyelet that's on here, it's digging into the top of my foot. And you know, when I first put the shoe on, for the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh God, I can't wear these boots. This is gonna kill my foot all day. And you know, after 5 minutes, I stopped feeling it. So I don't know if that part of my foot is now raw and I just can't feel anything, or if the inside of the shoe has softened up enough to where that's not hurting anymore. But I don't know, because I can't feel it. But I mean, they do feel pretty good. You know, my one complaint is that they're brown. So I mean, I do like the look, you know, of them being brown. It looks kind of retro and cool. But the issue with that is I don't own anything that's brown. You know, I bought a black bike. You know, I got a black jacket. I got a black helmet. Everything that I have is black, but yet I have these brown boots. It just looks so weird in my eyes, you know. But I guess that old story is beggars can't be choosers. But I didn't exactly beg for these boots because I freaking paid 180 bucks for them. And I'm not one of the type of guys that go, oh look, I spent $180. Do you like them? I spent a pretty penny on them. No, I'm usually the guy that goes, oi, look at these fucking boots here. I only spent 80 quid. You know, something like that. Yeah, I don't like to spend a lot of money on shit. I like to pride myself on the fact that I spent less money on it. Unfortunately, I can't do that with my bobber. I can't say, hey, I only spent blah, blah, blah dollars on it. This bike I can say that with because I only spent, I think, $2,500 on it. Hopes to have it in gear. But yeah, you know, would be nice. But yeah, this bike, I mean, this is a great deal bike, but again, nobody cares. It's a Honda. It's a Honda. It's a 2004 Honda. Nobody cares about Hondas unless you're a Honda guy. But there's, yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Blah 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 blah. God, I hate this exhaust. As much as I want my bobber to have a loud exhaust, I do not want it to sound like this bike. You know, I should say on idle this bike sounds fine. On acceleration it sounds fine. But on deceleration, this bike is so annoying. It farts and pops and all sorts of shit. So my wife's Hummer was stolen. I put that into a video the other day, and we're going on day, let's see, today's Thursday, so day 4 of my wife's truck being stolen, and we have excuse me, we have to wait a grand total of 3 weeks before we can do anything about it. And when I say do anything about it, basically got to give the cops 3 weeks to recover the truck. If they don't recover it, then the insurance company will claim it as a total loss and figure out how much money to give us for the vehicle. And you know, it's fine and all, you know, it's like, okay, cool, but like, it's actually kind of annoying. You know, one, we really liked the truck that we had, but if you go and look for another one, they're like all pieces of shit. Like, they did not take care of the Hummers, and the ones where they did take care of the Hummers, they are asking way too much money for them. Like, I saw one that I was like, oh, that's pretty close to the one that we had, like the quality and how clean it was and how well taken care of it was. I was like, oh, okay, that looks pretty good. What's the price? Oh, they want $35,000 for it. Like, what? Why are you asking that much money? You do realize that that is now a 13-year-old vehicle and it's not a collector's item. So I don't know. I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to replace the Hummer with a Hummer unless we want a piece of shit vehicle, and I don't want to do that. One of my dream trucks is to have a Ford Raptor, and I absolutely love the way those trucks look, but they're pricey. They're pricey as hell, and even if you find one that's, you know, like the first year, which I think is like a 2008 or 2009, they want an extremely large amount of money for those vehicles, even with them having high mileage. And you sit there and you look at them and you're like, dude, it's an F-150 with body shit on it. You know, it's like, what are you talking about? Why do you want so much money? And they're just like, well, it's worth it. And it's like, no, it's really not. So, you know, that was on the table, but as we're finding out, it's not really on the table because it's too expensive. So what else were we looking at? You know, there was that. My wife likes the Porsche Panamera. That's a nice car. It kind of defeats the purpose of, see, I wish this thing had an extra gear. It defeats the purpose of the reason why we want another vehicle in the first place, which is we want a large vehicle. That way, if my wife gets nailed by a SUV or something of that sort, she can have a larger vehicle to where, you know, the energy from the larger vehicle will just be dispersed better in a larger vehicle than in a smaller vehicle. Now that might be a fool's logic, but at least that's what my wife's aunt, who my wife looks up to. Basically, she was raised by her aunt, so she really looks up to her aunt, and she listens to her. And her aunt is telling her, nope, you need a big vehicle. You know, we have a Ford Fusion. And she's like, no, you can't drive the kids around in that. You need something bigger. And it's like, really? We just bought the Ford Fusion. It's like, nope, you need a bigger vehicle. So that's what we got to figure out. So I know if we got the Porsche, they'd be like, no, that's not good. You need something bigger. And she's Filipino, so, oh, no, that's not good. You need to buy something bigger. So that's going to be something that we decide, you know. So more than likely the Porsche's off the table. I would like to buy something. I've been trying to find the vehicle at CarMax, and for no other reason. I mean, CarMax is a little pricey on stuff, but at least, like, if the tires are worn or anything's messed up on the vehicle, they fix it. Like, you'll notice a lot of the vehicles that they sell have brand new tires, because CarMax makes sure that they have nice new tires on it. And any vehicle that you buy from them, if for some reason you have an issue with the car, or there's something on it that you weren't sure about, you can trade it in. And that's pretty much unheard of, especially in California. There's like a no waiting period for vehicles. It's like, once you sign the papers, that car is yours. You own it. So if you sign the car, you know, say you sign the papers for the car, and as they're pulling it out of the driveway, a meteor comes flying down and destroys the vehicle, well, that was your vehicle. So you own it. That's your problem. So, you know, with CarMax, they do this thing where, say you buy the car and you take it home and you realize, like, say your kid's car seat doesn't fit in the vehicle. You can take it back, no questions asked, and say, okay, this isn't going to work for me, I need something else. So then they'll work with you and find a replacement vehicle. You're still obligated with CarMax to purchase a vehicle, so it's not like you could just go there and say, okay, yeah, I didn't like it, and then walk away and not owe anything. You are certainly going to have to pay, pay for a vehicle, but you could, switch it around and go, okay, I want the Pan America, I want the Porsche, and you try it out for a while and you realize, oh my God, this car is not practical for what we need, and you go back in and say, yeah, this isn't going to work, I need something else, and then you can do that. It's actually kind of cool. So you're not stuck with making a bad decision and having buyer's remorse. So and the other thing about CarMax is they have a ridiculously awesome warranty. We did that with the Hummer. Luckily we didn't need it, but any vehicle that you buy there, you can get an extended warranty, and it's essentially like, let me see, when I bought the Hummer, it had like 49,000 miles on it, and you had a couple different options for warranties. So you had a warranty to put it at 60,000 miles, 100,000 miles, or like 150,000 miles. And the 150,000 mile warranty was like I think either a 6 or 8 year warranty, and it was only like $3,000. So, and it covered everything. So me never having owned a Hummer before, that was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll do that. I'll take that warranty. So I did, and it was a good decision. I mean, fortunately we didn't need it, but I like, especially if you're making a payment, it's nice to have a warranty that coincides with your payments. So, if you're making a $400 or $500 a month payment on your auto loan, you can't afford those added expenses from something breaking on your vehicle. So that's why you have one of those extended warranties. Then you don't have to worry about it. You could still make your payment, have your vehicle fixed, and you're not really strapped for cash. So that's why I do it. Just a little bit of peace of mind. But I'm trying to find my next vehicle through CarMax specifically for that reason, because their prices are not too far off of what the market is doing right now. So like, I found some vehicles that are pretty nice. They're about maybe $1,000 or $2,000 more, but I know I can get that warranty. And if I buy it through a private seller, there is no warranty. There's nothing. Now you can buy one of those aftermarket warranties, but those are not like the CarMax warranty. The CarMax warranty covers everything. Those other ones, they find ways. They have a long list of things that they're going to not cover you for. I mean, that's the way they make money, is have you insure your vehicle and then them never make a payout. That's how they make money. So I actually had a warranty once for my orange car, and it was an aftermarket one, and they freaking did that. Like, I had my water pump go out on my car, so in order to remove the water pump, you have to remove the timing chain. It's all like interconnected. So the guy at the shop that I took it to told me, they're like, it's probably a good idea. My car only had like 40,000 miles at the time, and like, well, since we have to take the timing chain off, it would make sense to just replace the timing chain. And I totally agreed with that logic. I was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. And the insurance company was like, no, you don't need to do that. And it's like, dude, it's $150. And they're like, no, we're not going to pay for it. So even though it made logical sense to prevent damage in the future and to need to have that repaired later, they refused to do it, even though it was a step in the repair process for the car. So I was just like, okay, you assholes. So I just paid the money out of pocket, and luckily the shop that I went to was a shop that I was really cool with, and they just said, dude, we're not going to charge you any extra. We have to take it off and we have to put it on anyways. So we're not going to charge you extra for replacing this. Just pay for the part. So I did, and I got it taken care of. But, you know, if I had CarMax, that's not even a question. They go ahead and they just take care of it, at least for the most part. Okay, well, that is my spiel for the day, or at least for this session. I will be speaking to you gents, and well, I don't know if there's any ladies watching this garbage, but if there are, hello, how are you? Or as my friend Joey would say, how you doing? Yo. All right, man. I will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, or whatever. And I will talk to you again.
I hope you liked my video. If you want to see more, feel free to click down below. Don't forget to subscribe, or you can hit me at Twitter at Tech4Hire Online.